Yeah, I just don't know how to put it without, like, sounding boring, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Come back to that?
Yeah. I think, like, after this beer's gone and I get a couple more sips in another, that'll be easier. All right, so my name is Jordan Taylor. I'm from Allegrucci, PA, which is in Beaver County. That's where we are right now. So I think I got into skating in probably 5th grade, but it took me like a year to convince my parents to get me a skateboard. And my homie Levi got me into skating. He's like my best friend, so fucking that's basically it. I think I got like a shitty World Industries Complete from the Van store in Robinson was my first skateboard. And my mom was pissed and thought I was going to get like a mohawk or something.
I'm walking down that track, I got tears in my eyes, trying to read the letter from my home. If that train runs right, I'll see my woman Saturday night. I'm 900 miles from my home, and I did that
To open up a skate shop, that's like, I feel like most skaters' dreams when they're growing up. So that's kind of like what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be like involved in skating or something creative. I started fucking a little clothing line first because like you can just like do that these days. And then my homie Chandler wanted to open up a shop, so we opened one up together, and here it is. So it kind of just like happened sooner than I expected it would. The name Union basically is, unity. We want to try to support what's good for the good of skateboarding culture and try to keep it skater-owned brands, whether they're larger scale to smaller scale. And we try to bring in as much smaller scale brands that really care about the details and why they sponsor a skater or whatever, or fucking what they put out and their personalities, and try to build a good community in skateboarding instead of, there's a lot of nonsense and big money in skateboarding. Everyone knows, everyone hates it, everyone loves it. So like, we don't have to include that. They have their scene and, bring something together where I'm from, So that's it. It's more rewarding that way. The influence on the scene, I'm for sure like a skate nerd. Like I know like some unnecessary shit with skateboarding, like a lot of skate nerds. So it's like some people really appreciate that and it turns off other people. And so it's definitely influenced the scene, especially the younger, newer scene. And like over time, that just evolves and grows. So like I see a good future of Beaver County skateboarding, and like dudes that are older than me, good skateboarders have come out of Beaver County, and like there was nothing here to show for them, And in my opinion, there's awesome like cutty spots out here. Like someone can film a sick video part out here. It's just like there's nothing going on until like we opened kind of. So like that kind of is breaking out, and that's like the goal. It's like I want to see skate rats in every town, like finding new spots and just sharing skateboarding, And, the DIY is awesome too. It's like a little spot we have control over with what we can do, And that's like super cool. And like nothing's perfect there. And like I dig that, I dig when things aren't perfect, All right. So the DIY story is like basically Beaver is a very traditional conservative town. It's kind of like still feels like the 1950s in a way, like very small. It's like a couple miles big, and some older heads think like skateboarding's like super, like, you're a complete degenerate drug addict if you skateboard or whatever. So, like, they were bumming on the fact that, you know, more skaters are going to be in the town, which is understandable to an extent. So they had a meeting about building a skate park, and they didn't really like the outcome of it because, like, a lot of skaters showed up. There was, like, probably, like, 60 skaters. Like, no town meetings are ever that packed. And they just put blacktop down right by the high school football field. And it's up to the shop to build everything and fund everything and whatnot. So, like, that's the biggest struggle. But, I mean, I like it better that way because, like, it's not handed to us. And, like, the people that care is who help out. So that's, like, what's good about it. And I don't really know what else to say about that. So it's a slow process. All right, so the process of choosing brands, like, especially if you bring a new one in, it's always an investment that you don't know what's going to happen with. So, like, you know, I do my best job to relate to as many skateboarders as possible, like, whether they're just, like, a park kid or, like, they really are, like, picky about what they want or the coolness factor or however, but we really try to get what is quality product and who is in it for the best reasons. So, like, 95% of the time, if you're going to buy trucks here, you're only going to get Independent or Thunders because, like, the rest of the trucks suck. Like, that's it. Like, the only reason we don't, like, have Vans or Adidas and Nike is because, like, getting those is insane. It's, like, our budget's really small and, like, you can get it anywhere, so it's, like, not even that special to me. So we have all the skater-owned shoe brands, and that's what we're trying to help out, you know. And it's easier to work with. It's smaller. Everything is core in here. Like, everything's owned by a skateboarder, made by a skateboarder to the fullest. So that's what it should be. The consumer reaction is always half and half. There's always going to be people that, you know, really respect, like, the artistic value or, like, the passion and value of anything in skateboarding or outside of skating. I feel like you should do what you can to support your local skate shop if you care about it, because the local shop is, like, what's going to give back to the skate community. So, like, if kids, like, don't give a fuck about the local skate shop, that means, like, they literally only care about themselves. They don't actually care about the community of skateboarding, and they don't see the big picture of that's what gets you skate parks, that's what gets you whatever, that's what's going to help you get sponsored if that's your goal on a skateboard. Because, like, you're not going to just fucking post your skate park tricks on Instagram. A brand's not going to give a fuck about that if you aren't, like, an asset to them or whatever. Like, everybody's good at skateboarding, and that's what kids are going to find out sooner than later. So it's like, it'll come about, you know. Videos, there's still people making solid videos. Like, there's still, like, homie projects coming out, like, all kinds of good shit. I feel like it depends on how you go about putting a full length out and how you go about putting a short video out. So I think it's fine to do both, you know. I like that there's cool, like, smaller brands putting out 10-minute edits. Like, sometimes that's all you have time to watch and, like, go skate, especially if you're, like, an adult or whatever. I don't know. But I respect people putting full lengths out, though, like, to the fullest. So the Eastern Logic full length, I'm calling it timeless, and it's because, like, I want it to have the feeling of timelessness. Like, if something's cool at some point, it should be cool forever. You feel me? Like, that's, like, basically the vibe. A lot of the video will be, I kind of want it to look like if a skate video came out in, like, the 1950s or something. So, like, that's kind of what that's going to be like. It's not about impressive tricks. It's more about the thought process of, like, what a skateboard is capable of doing, I guess. And, like, very jivey, like, scatty, I don't know. Like, you improv with your environment. Any advice if you want to own a skate shop or anything in skateboarding? You better love skateboarding because the rewards are terrible, like, financially at least. That's basically what it is. Like, you just love skateboarding and you just want to find a way to be a skateboarder as long as you can, because like the older you get, it's harder. You are on your own, fucking, but you want to be a skateboarder, you know, like that's your escape from real life, and that's what it's about. Like that's how all of the best big brands are successful. I feel like independent trucks or vans or anything, like they're fucking skateboarders regardless, you know. So you gotta, if you're in it for money, like the money comes like third. I feel like not even second. I really want to get the DIY like in a way better place than it is now. Like that's one big goal. Fucking mostly just build the DIY better, get a larger skate scene in Beaver County, get a recognizable scene. Like I want it to be about where I'm from and give back to it. And you know, I'd like to be able to get DIYs in almost every town in Beaver County and just like have Beaver County have its own skateboarding scene. And that's like literally the goal, because I ain't trying to chase what anyone else is doing. I want it to be like its own community of people. I'd like to have our own brands, you know. So, you know, just keep doing what we're doing and just grow at it, and hopefully, you know, there's success in that, you know. Our Instagram name, if you want to follow us, is Union Skate Supplies at Instagram or whatever. And we're pretty small. We have like 1,000 followers, I think. So if a kid that's like in the county or whatever does something cool, you know, I'll fuck with it. Like I appreciate that you're doing something cool with skateboarding, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? As long as their heart's in the right place. You know what I mean? So.